So, meine Lieben, heute ist der 20. Februar, Abendsession. Wir sind gerade mit dem Lucian im Ausgang gewesen. Das war nice gewesen. Und ja, morgen gehen wir auf den Montserrat. Freue ich mich. Aber erstmal lese ich weiter bei Genesis 24, 26. The man, als Kontext, genau, der Abraham hat einen Sklav losgeschickt, der für ihn soll eine Frau finden oder so. Und der Sklave ist gerade beim Brunnen und sagt so, hey, Girlie, hol mir mal Wasser. Und sie ist gegangen und hat das gemacht. The man bowed low and worshipped the Lord. Praise the Lord, the God of my master Abraham, he said. Lord has shown unfailing love and faithfulness to my master, for he has led me straight to my master's relatives. The young woman ran home to tell her family everything that had happened. Now, Rebecca had a brother named Laban, who ran out to meet the man at the spring. He had seen the nose ring and the bracelets on his sister's wrists, and he had heard Rebecca tell what the man had said. So he rushed out to the spring, where the man was still standing beside his camels. Laban said to him, "Come and stay with us, you who are blessed by the Lord. Why are you standing here outside the town when I have a room all ready for you and a place prepared for the camels?" So the man went home with the Laban. And Laban unloaded the camels, gave him straw for their bedding, fed them, and provided water for the man and the camel drivers to wash their feet. Then food was served, but Abraham's servant said, "I don't want to eat until I have told you why I have come." "All right," Laban said, "tell us." "I am Abraham's servant," he explained, "and the Lord has greatly blessed my master. He has become a wealthy man. The Lord has given him flocks of sheep and goats, herds of cattle, a fortune in silver and gold, and many male and female servants, and camels and donkeys. When Sarah, my master's wife, was very old, she gave birth to my master's son, and my master has given him everything he owns. And my master made me take an oath. He said, 'Do not allow my son to marry one of these local Canaanite women. Go instead to my father's house, to my relatives, and find a wife there for my son.' But I said to my master, 'What if I can't find a young woman who is willing to go back with me?' He responded, 'The Lord in whose presence I have lived will send this angel with you and will make your mission successful. Yes, you must find a wife for my son from among my relatives, from my father's family. Then you will have fulfilled your obligation. But if you go to my relatives and they refuse to let her go with you, you will be free from my oath.' So today, when I came to the spring, I prayed this prayer, 'O Lord, God of my master Abraham, please give me success in this mission. See, I am standing here beside the spring. This is my request. When a young woman comes to draw water, I will say to her, "Please give me a little drink of water from your jug." If she says, "Yes, have a drink," and I will draw water for your camels too. Let her be the one you have selected to be the wife of my master's son." Before I had finished praying in my heart, I saw Rebecca coming out with her water jug on her shoulder. She went down to the spring and drew water, so I said to her, "Please, give me a drink." She quickly lowered her jug from her shoulder and said, "Yes, have a drink, and I will water your camels too." So I drank, and then she watered the camels. Then I asked, "Whose daughter are you?" She replied, "I am the daughter of Bethuel, and my grandparents are Nahor and Milcah." So I put the ring on her nose and the bracelets on her wrists. Then I bowed low and worshipped the Lord. I praised the Lord, the God of my master Abraham, because he had led me straight to my master's knees to be his son's wife. So tell me, will you or won't you show unfailing love and faithfulness to my master? Please tell me yes or no, then I will know what to do next." Then Laban and Bethuel replied, "The Lord has obviously brought you here, so there is nothing we can say. Here is Rebekah. Take her and go. Yes, let her be the wife of your master's son, as the Lord has directed." When Abraham's servant had heard an answer, he bowed down to the ground and worshipped the Lord. Then he brought out silver and gold jewelry and clothing and presented them to Rebekah. He also gave expensive presents to her brother and mother. Then they ate their meal, and the servant and the men with him stayed there overnight. But early next morning, Abraham's servant said, "Send me back to my master. But we want Rebekah to stay with us at least 10 days. Her brother and mother said, "Then she can go." But he said, "Don't delay me. The Lord has made my mission successful. Now send me back so I can return to my master." "Well," they said, "we'll call Rebekah and ask her what she thinks." So they called Rebekah. "Are you willing to go with this man?" they asked her. And she replied, "Yes, I will go." So they said goodbye to Rebekah and sent her away with Abraham's servant and his men. The woman who had been Rebekah's childhood nurse went along with her. They gave her this blessing as she parted: "Our sister, may you become the mother of many millions. May your descendants be strong and conquer the cities and of their enemies." Then Rebekah and her servant girls mounted the camels and followed the man. So Abraham's servant took Rebekah and went on his way. Meanwhile Isaac, whose home was in the Negev, had returned from Beer Lahai Roi. One evening, as he was walking and meditating in the fields, he looked up and saw the camels coming. When Rebekah looked up and saw Isaac, she quickly dismounted from her camel. "Who is that man walking through the fields to meet us?" she asked the servant. And he replied, "This is my master." So Rebekah covered her face with her veil. Then the servant told Isaac everything he had done. And Isaac brought Rebekah into his mother Sarah's tent, and she became his wife. He loved her deeply, and she was a special comfort to him after the death of his mother. Genesis 25. The death of Abraham. Abraham married another wife, whose name was Keturah. She gave birth to Timon, Yokshan, Medan, Midian, Ishbak, and Shua. Yokshan was the father of Sheba and Dedan. Dedan's descendants were the Esuites, Etuites, and Loimites. Midian's sons were Ephah, Epher, Hanoch, Abida, and Eldar. These were all descendants of Abraham through Keturah. Abraham gave everything he owned to his son Isaac. But before he died, he gave gifts to his sons, and gave gifts to the sons of his concubines, and sent them off in a land of the east, away from Isaac. Abraham lived for 175 years, and he died at a ripe old age, having lived a long and satisfying life. He breathed his last and joined his ancestors in death. His sons Isaac and Ishmael buried him in the cave of Machpelah, near Mamre, in the field of Ephron, son of Zohar the Hittite. This was the field Abraham had purchased from the Hittites, and where he had buried his wife Sarah. After Abraham's death, God blessed his son Isaac, who settled near Beer Ehai, Roi in the Negev. Ishmael's descendants. This is the amount of families of Ishmael, the son of Abraham through Hagar, Sarah's Egyptian servant. Here's a list by their names and claims of Ishmael's descendants. The oldest was Nebaioth, followed by Kedar, Adbeel, Mibsam, Mishma, Duma, Massa, Hadad, Tema, Yetur, Napish, and Kedemah. These 12 sons of Ishmael became the founders of 12 tribes, named after them, and camped. Ishmael lived for 137 years. Then he breathed his last and joined the ancestors in death. Ishmael's descendants occupied the region of Havilah to Shur, which is the east of Egypt in the direction of Ashur. There they lived in open hostility towards all their relatives. The birth of Esau and Jacob. This is the account of the family of Isaac, the son of Abraham. When Isaac was 40 years old, he married Rebekah, the daughter of Bethuel. The Aramean from Padan Aram, and the sister of Laban, the Aramean. Isaac pleaded with the Lord on behalf of his wife, because she was unable to have children. The Lord answered Isaac's prayer, and Rebekah became pregnant with twins. But the two children struggled with each other in her womb. So she went to ask the Lord about it. "Why is this happening to me?" she asked. And the Lord told her, "The sons in your womb will become two nations. From the very beginning, the two nations will be rivals. One nation will be stronger than the other, and your older son will serve your younger son." And when the time came to give birth, Rebekah discovered that she did indeed have twins. The first one was very red at birth and covered with thick hair like a fur coat, so they called him Esau. Esau sounds like a Hebrew term that means hair. Then the other twin was born with his hand grasping Esau's heel, so they named him Jacob. Jacob sounds like the Hebrew word for heel and deceiver, so they named him Jacob. Isaac was 60 years old when the twins were born. Esau sells his birthright. As the boys grew up, Esau became a skillful hunter. He was an outdoors man, but Jacob had a quiet temperament, preferring to stay at home. Isaac loved Esau because he enjoyed eating the wild game Esau has brought home, but Rebekah loved Jacob. One day, when Jacob was cooking some stew, Esau arrived home from the wilderness, exhausted and hungry. Esau said to Jacob, "I'm starved. Give me some of that red stew." "All right," Jacob replied, "but trade me your rights as the firstborn son." "Look, I'm dying of starvation," said Esau. "What good is my birthright to me now?" But Jacob said, "First you must swear that your birthright is mine." So Esau swore an oath, thereby selling all his rights as the firstborn to his brother Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau some bread and lentil stew. Esau ate the meal, then got up and left. He showed contempt for his right as the firstborn. Isaac deceives Abimelech. A severe famine now struck the land. as had happened before in Abraham's time. So Isaac moved to Gerar, where Abimelech, the king of Philistines, lived. The Lord appeared to Isaac and said, "Do not go down to Egypt, but do as I will tell you. Live here as a foreigner in this land, and I will be with you and bless you. I hereby confirm that I will give you all these lands of you and your descendants, just as I solemnly promised Abraham your father. I will cause your descendants to become as numerous as the stars of the sky, and I will give them all these lands, and through your descendants all the nations of the earth will be blessed. I will do this because Abraham listened to me and obeyed all my requirements, commandments, decrees, and instructions." So Isaac stayed in Gerar. When the man who lived there asked Isaac about his wife Rebekah, he said, "She's my sister." He was afraid to say she's my wife. He thought, "They will kill me to get her, because she was so beautiful." But some time later, Abimelech, the king of Philistines, looked out his window and saw Isaac caressing Rebekah. Immediately, Abimelech called for Isaac and exclaimed, "She's obviously your wife. Why did you say she's my sister?" "Because I was afraid someone would kill me to come for her," Isaac replied. "How come you do this to us?" Abimelech exclaimed. "One of my people might easily have taken your wife and slept with her, and you would make us guilty of great sin." Then Abimelech issued a public proclamation: "Anyone who touches this man or his wife will be put to death." Conflict over water rights. When Isaac planted his crops that year, he harvested 100 times more grain than he planted, for the Lord blessed him. He became a very rich man, and his wealth continued to grow. He acquired so many flocks of sheep and goats, herds of cattle and servants, that the Philistines became jealous of him. So the Philistines filled up all of Isaac's wells with dirt. These were the wells that had been dug by the servants of his father Abraham. Finally, Abimelech ordered Isaac to leave the country. "Go somewhere else," he said, "for you have become too powerful for us." So Isaac moved to the Gerar Valley, where he set up their tents and settled down. He reopened the wells his father had dug, which the Philistines had filled in after Abraham's death. Isaac also restored the names Abraham had given to them. Isaac's servants also dug the Gerar Valley and discovered a well of fresh water. But then the shepherds from Gerar came and claimed the spring. "This is our water," they said, and they argued over it with Isaac's herdsmen. So Isaac named the well Esek, which means argument. Isaac's men then dug another well, but again there was a dispute over it. So Isaac named it Sitnah, which means hostility. Abandoning that one, Isaac moved on and dug another well. This time there was no dispute over it. So Isaac named the place Rehoboth, which means open space, for he said, "At least the Lord had created enough space for us to prosper in this land." From there, Isaac moved to Beersheba, where the Lord appeared to him, and on the night of the arrival, "I am the God of your father Abraham," he said. "Do not be afraid, for I am with you, and will bless you." Do not be afraid, for I am with you, and I will bless you. I will multiply your descendants, and they will become a great nation. I'll do this because of my promise to Abraham, my servant. Then Isaac built an altar there and worshipped the Lord. He set up his camp at this place, and his servants dug another well. Isaac's covenant with Abimelech. One day, King Abimelech came from Gerar with his advisor, Ahuzzat, and also Phicol, his army commander. "Why have you come here?" Isaac asked. "You obviously hate me, since you kicked me out of your land." They replied, "We can plainly see that the Lord is with you, so we want to enter into a sworn treaty with you. Let's make a covenant. Swear that you will not harm us, just as we have never harmed you. We have always treated you well, and we sent you away from us in peace. And now look how the Lord has blessed you." So Isaac prepared a covenant feast to celebrate their treaty, and they ate and drank together. Early the next morning, they each took a solemn oath not to interfere with each other. Then Isaac sent them home again and they left him in peace. That very day Isaac's servants came and told him about a new well they had dug. "I found water," they exclaimed. So Isaac named the well Sheba, which means oath. And to this day, the town that grew up is called Beersheba, which means well of the oath. At the age of 40, Esau married two Hittite wives, Judith, the daughter of Beeri, and Basemath, the daughter of Elon. But Esau's wives made life miserable for Isaac and Rebekah. So, what date is it? 20th of February PM session. Good night.